Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera, aka Hbar. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. And if you do find any of the information in this video valuable, useful, or interesting in any sort of way possible, definitely hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on to never miss a future update. But with that being said, let's just dive in. Let's talk about a few things. And first off, yes, we are going to be talking a little bit about Bitcoin. I'm not going to talk too much about charts. I actually have the charts left for the end of this video. But for the most part, we are back up about 11.77% on, of course, the global crypto market cap. And we do see Bitcoin ranging around the 39K mark. Overall, I'm not too concerned on the markets. I will say this. I will be watching, of course, the indices opening today. You guys already know me. I love to watch the stocks open on Monday. Kind of gives us a little bit of a clear picture for the rest of the week. I do believe that we could see a little bit of a rally today overall. Of course, it all depends on tech stocks. We will address that in this video as well later on. But of course, a lot of altcoins are turning a little bit green because, of course, Bitcoin is starting to move. We do see that the trading volume is still down about 20% on Hedera, though, which is totally expected. It's not too crazy here, honestly, on any altcoins. Like, we're not seeing major runs on anything. I mean, of course, Solana and stuff are... I would say we can mention a few like that are up about 10% or so, but for the most part, all altcoins are sitting around like XRPs, gains, or even like BNB, which is like maybe 2%, almost 1%. So everything's kind of still flatlined, if you will. But I do want to talk to you guys about a lot of things happening within the Hedera ecosystem. So let's just dive into that. So first and foremost, we do see we are working with the Bank of Ghana on deploying a regulatory sandbox. This has been a project that's very exciting for us, and I think you'll hear more over the next couple of months from the BOG and ourselves. Now, I just want you all to understand that yesterday I just talked to you guys about MTech in regards to the US regulatory sandbox. MTech is absolutely killing it right now. They are building out major overall sandboxes. They're building out regulatory demands. The funny thing about this is that I have a weird sort of suspicion that MTech could possibly be the major player behind regulatory standpoints on CBDCs, stablecoin adoption, and even stablecoin issuance, depending on, of course, a ledger technology, which, of course, will most likely be, you've guessed it, Hedera. And we do see here, the integration into this mobile network operators is something we think could be very powerful, and the integration into the fintechs, we're already doing that. We're already testing with fintechs with our wallet API, and you'll be hearing, more next year about that too. On the innovator side, we're launching a regulatory API to allow them to participate in Sandbox for the regulator. We're launching a regulatory dashboard for them to understand the data, do data analytics, and engage with innovators. That's for us, the regulatory sandbox. How do we structure, to get some funding and turning around, taking that validation, bootstrapping ourselves through, but building enough to get a yes. And now we've got the Bank of Ghana, and now we're signing 3 more central banks to start piloting our platform. We're kicking off the year with our official regulatory sandbox, and we have exciting news for the fintechs. We talked to the CBs and really showing the value, but I think you're going to see a new conversation around what regulation looks like in a digital currency era. And we have been seeing regulations being a standpoint, or I shouldn't say a standpoint, but a spotlight right now, even in regards to XRP's lawsuit. I mean, when we are talking about regulatory clarity for the space, it is big. I mean, it's key for mass adoption, especially in terms of critical systems, like, for example, the legacy system. The funny thing about this is that we have a direct tie to this. MTech is the major connection with Hedera, because Hedera is going to be the trust layer behind MTech. And if we are talking about, them signing 3 more central banks with the Bank of Ghana, that's going to be huge. I'm very excited to see who these major players are. But I will say this, MTech has a massive piece in terms of this major puzzle for CBDCs and the future of digitized banking. And I want you to all understand where, Hedera's position in terms of this major market, which is, of course, being that trust layer for all of this. Also, we do see here platforms like Zeus Market really showcase the power of Hedera and underlying Hashgraph technology. It is so seamless and quick to log in with Hashpack app, associate and purchase NFTs with just a few clicks, very low fees and few seconds checkout times. Goodbye, blockchain. And of course, if you guys don't know about Zeus Market, they are sort of a new NFT launchpad and marketplace that is built on Hedera. This says, this came out back in January, but it's very exciting to watch this kind of unfold because we are seeing some major NFTs being listed on here. For example, here's one that just got listed, and there's so much more. I mean, honestly, when we are talking about platforms like this is very good for Hedera because it does provide, first off, tons of opportunity for artists, for NFT traders, and also, it allows for a lot more spotlights on these marketplaces that, of course, will lead them all back to one name, and that is, of course, Hedera. So this is extremely incredible for us. I mean, even if we are talking about Solana, right? Solana pumped extremely hard off of NFT marketplaces alone and NFT, volume. I do believe that Hedera is going to be something very similar to that. And this has a $30.6 billion market cap. And Hedera is sitting down here at number currently 34 with a $4 billion market cap. So nearly a 10x from here in terms of market cap potential, which is pretty significant to say the least. And of course, we do see here, mark your calendar and join Hedera for this webinar with Theum about how they use Hedera Consensus Service for data protection. It's not DeFi or DAOs or NFTs. These use cases are solving real business problems for enterprises, not possible on other networks. And I love the fact that we are seeing that it is not possible on other networks being mentioned here. This is something that is very significant. And I want you to all understand that this is an enterprise-driven company. This is an enterprise-driven network that is going to have massive volume behind it from, of course, enterprises. Also, I just talked to you guys a little bit about this in my Alliance block video from yesterday. When we are talking about Hedera, I just want you all to understand that these are major companies that are focused on, data as well. Like, Theum is focused on data, all clouds completely secure. Protect your data in, AWS, Azure, GCP, data stores, etc. This is honestly what I've been talking to you guys about. Data is the new oil. Data is the new oil of course, the 21st century. And when we are talking about this, data is going to be worth a massive amount, especially once it does become tokenized. But we do see use cases are here, secure data in transit, avoid financial liabilities, automate data risk ranking, prevent threats to data as well. And we do see, some products here that you guys can look at. Of course, you could read all about their team. Funny thing about, some of these major individuals, like for example, the founder, is because when we connect the dots, he is an ex-Google employee as well, and even ex-Cisco, which Cisco is actually a pretty big overall data, company as well. So, pretty big names behind this company and very incredible in terms of what they are focusing on in use cases. And I definitely do believe that they have, chosen Hedera for possibly some major use cases in terms of, the, enterprise grade area. So very excited for this. And guys, a lot of things are happening. I mean, a lot of things are happening. We even see here, I want Hbar staking 15 hours ago. Hedera roadmap, it's coming, and when we are talking about, staking, it is happening in Q2 of 2022, along with a ton of other updates within the entire network. But of course, here's staking rewards, and I'm telling you right now, you are going to want to be holding Hbar when this goes live, because staking, if it is a good APY, okay, it is going to provide massive retail demand for Hedera, and I'm very excited for this. I'm actually anticipating this greatly right now, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this happen very, very soon. So I'm awaiting Q2 of 2022. I think that we have a little bit more time, but guys, there's a lot of things happening, especially with MTech. Pay attention to MTech, and of course we look into Bitcoin. Can Bitcoin break out versus, tech stocks again? NASDAQ decoupling paints a $100,000 target. Bitcoin's growth has quickly outpaced NASDAQ's in the past 10 years. And of course, we are seeing, a possible $100 price target for Bitcoin being talked about yet again. And here's Bitcoin versus the NASDAQ log scale. You guys can look at it. When we are talking about Bitcoin going to 100K, it definitely is possible. I'm not going to lie. I've been watching Bitcoin closely, and I've been anticipating this next major move. But we do see here. But what happens in a situation where you have a policy mistake, i.e. the Fed hikes too aggressively, for instance, or they don't hike aggressively enough and there's an inflation problem? That would actually probably be much more supportive of Bitcoin and less supportive for equity. So he is basically saying, possibly, having Bitcoin pump because individuals are trying to hedge their bets against inflation in some sort of major market, and they're not going to hedge in tech stocks. I mean, tech stocks are usually the last to go in terms of like a stock market crash, if you will, but I definitely think that Bitcoin is something to watch, even in the coming days to weeks. This week I definitely will be watching the indices. I will be watching tech stocks 100%, but I will just say, if we are talking about $100,000 price target for Bitcoin, then what are we talking for in terms of HBAR? Because I've told you guys $3 to $6 is my conservative ranges, and I still believe that those levels will be targeted. In fact, when we are talking about the price chart for HBAR right now, if this is a confirmed higher low, that would be very bullish for us actually to gain some strength here and kind of continue that ride up to, of course, the 35 to 37 or 38 cent range. That would be very bullish for us to actually get back up into those levels, because of course that is where we do see HBAR at its strongest, and that is where we do of course target the all-time high. But if we are talking about Bitcoin going to $100,000, there's going to be a lot of price demand for a lot of these layer ones, specifically even in general. When we are talking about a lot of money flowing into this market, I will be watching layer one specifically, and Hedera definitely has my eye for some major high targets. I've always said $3 to $6 conservative, but we could definitely hit around like $10, if you will, if the FOMO does allow it. And I know that that is a stretch for a lot of individuals, and a lot of people are probably about to say right now in the comments, dude, you're crazy if you think this could go to $10. But of course, I've seen crazier in the past. I mean, when we are talking about even HBAR compared to XRP in 2017, 2018, we definitely have a lot less significant amount in circulation, but also we have a ton of bullish things that are catalyst events to push us well beyond the means of $3 to $6 if FOMO does, incur. But of course, when we are talking about, the volume, yes, we are still in that diminished volume stage. If we go check out the weekly chart, we could see the weekly here. You could really kind of see the diminished volume here on the weekly, and you could really kind of see where we are on the weekly, kind of coming down and retesting this major support zone at about like 20.5 cents, if you will. Of course, yes, we did wick down as low as like 18.5 cents. That was going back to the week of January 24th. But when we are talking about the demand zone that we are back into, we are pretty much at the foundational level of August 9th, before we went to the all-time high. So we didn't really lose any key structure. Bitcoin basically did exactly what we have been anticipating it to do. Of course, are we going to watch tomorrow like a hawk? 100%, because I do believe that we could see some more downward pressure if we do see the indices act accordingly. But we came down pretty much almost to the T on the 618, and we are resting on, of course, my fib level on the macro view, which is of course the 238. So all of this is key to watch for on Bitcoin. I think that we have been holding the structure fairly good, and I'm not too concerned at all on Bitcoin, just to kind of reiterate my overall stance on the current market structure with all of you. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.